Good morning. This is James Park. It's February 10th, 2022. I'm reaching out to you to talk about one part of an interview process that many of us often overlook, but it's a critical part of the interview. And that's the end of the interview, or so you think it's the end. It's after all of that question and answering where you feel like you've come to the finish line, and all of a sudden the interviewer, whether it's the board, a building manager, landlord, whoever's interviewing you, asks you, well, thank you for the interview. Do you have any questions for us? And having sat in on countless interviews, the answer that I often hear is, can you tell me what the salary is? Uh, how big is the apartment? That's if you're applying for a resident manager position. Or does the job come with a parking spot? And when I hear those responses, I can't help but feel disappointed because there was just a huge opportunity that was lost to make this interview a success and walk away like a winner. And that's regardless of whether you actually get the job or not. And here's what I mean. A lot of us look at the interview process as something that ends right when someone says, okay, thank you for the interview. And then all of us drop our game face and we go into a comfort mode. And I think that's where a lot of us feel comfortable to ask questions that just pop into our head. And it's the wrong way to think of that last part of an interview. You're still in an interview. It's not over. So you're still in the game. That game face still has to be on, and your answer has to be on point. Every part of the interview process, from the moment that you enter the room to the moment that you leave the room, should be looked at as a series of opportunities to either help you or hurt you. So looking back on this question, when the interviewer looks at you and says, so do you have any questions for us? This means that your response to this question can either help you or hurt you. Why does questions like, what's my salary, or how big is the apartment, what benefits do I get with these jobs, why would that hurt you? When you're interviewed, they want to see that you care about the position that you're applying for, you care about the building. They're thinking more about how you fit into their world. So when you ask a question that's focused on you, your questions should be designed to ask more about them and ask more about what they're going through and ask more about how you can fit into their world. Look, it's, having health insurance, having the right benefits, the right salary, the right apartment size, they're all important questions. But you can get that answer from other means, from other venues, such as an email to the property manager on the side. When the board has convened in front of you, or an interviewer has gotten a group of people in front of you to make an important decision, the last thing they want to talk about is something that you could have gotten an answer to from other means that don't require everyone to come together in the same room. So be mindful of their time. So let's look at some questions that you can respond with. Something like, what's an important goal for the building or the board? Or what's an important upcoming project for the building that concerns the board? Or just simply like, what concerns you, what worries you for this coming year that I can help you with? You could also ask questions about what they're looking for. You can say, what type of candidate are you looking for? Or what's your ideal candidate? So as you can see, there's a lot of questions that you can ask that engage them and help them feel that you're interested in them versus interested in yourself. These questions can, in the right circumstances, can really open up your opportunity to turn this interview around. So that means that if you were doing, not so good during the main part of the interview, this could actually bump things up just a notch. There's another misconception when it comes to that question of, do you have any questions for us? And that misconception stems from the belief that An interview process is a win or lose situation. That is, if you get the job, you win. If you don't get the job, you fail, you lose. That mentality blinds you from another goal that the interview process has. And that goal is using the interview process as a tool to improve yourself and improve your interviewing skills. And here's what I mean by that. One of the great opportunities of the interview process is to help you learn more about yourself and ways for you to improve your interview skills, regardless of whether you think you did great during an interview or whether you didn't. And especially if you feel like you've done horribly, you can use the interview process as a way to improve yourself and to improve those skills that you need to succeed in the interview process. So that question, do you have any questions, is a great opportunity for you to ask the interviewer about how well you did. And there's a little trick to that, partly because a lot of interviewers are not going to reveal to you whether you've gotten the job or not. They're going to have their poker face on. But you could still ask questions in a way that help them feel comfortable giving you some feedback. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people want to help others and want to give their feedback, their honest feedback, just not too much so that they give away all their cards. So what are the questions that you can ask? What could I have done better during this interview? How can I improve my interview skills? What was one strength and one weakness of my interview? And you know what? You're going to be surprised at the response. And you can take that and turn that into a lesson that you use to improve your interview skills. That's what turns this opportunity, whether you've gotten the job or not, into a winning opportunity and a formula for success. Remember, not all of us is going to get the jobs that we want in every interview that we go to. But every no takes you one step closer to that yes. So even if you don't get this job, knowing what you could have done better, knowing where you were weak on, can help you for the next round of interviews. That's what makes these experiences ultimately a winning experience. Don't lose that opportunity. Signing off, this is James Park.